Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Hello and welcome to Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold, and as always, I am joined by my buddy from the Action Network, Dan Titus. Dan, I somehow feel good after going to Vegas for 5 days. I'm ready to get into this NBA slate. I'm ready to get into some NBA betting and some Sweet 16 stuff. How you doing today, bud?
Doing great, man. Glad to see you made it back okay. Hopefully you came back profitable. It sounds like you did. So it was a good, successful weekend in Vegas. Wish I was out there as well, man. It looked like it was lit. But yeah, man, I did all right with college betting. I wind up, my bracket's completely screwed. So I just threw that to the corner, threw that by the wayside. But live betting was actually pretty profitable. So I know you have a couple stories about how you lucked out as well.
Yeah, Vegas was quite a time. I was there from Wednesday to Sunday, which is way too long to be in Vegas, but somehow made it through.
That's bold. It's bold.
Somehow still don't have COVID, despite the fact that everyone was coughing everywhere and no one had masks on. So that's also good. Knock on wood for that. I am also going to Scottsdale for a bachelor party on Thursday. So
The party continues.
No time to sit and sleep. Keep partying the entire month of March. That's great. So betting in Vegas was great. My bracket also torched. I looked on Friday afternoon and I was in DFL in my bracket. Not close, so that's good. But again, the live betting was really awesome. And I have a good story about BetMGM. I placed a live bet on Kansas versus Creighton. Somehow, so it was early on in the game. Game was like about tied. Kansas was a 12.5 point favorite by the time it closed. And BetMGM in the first half offered a Kansas plus 8.5 minus 136. So what did I do with this? I bet the max that I was allowed to on my account, which was quite a bit of money. And I took a screenshot of it before it finished because I knew that it was a bad line. I knew someone was going to try and fuck me. So I did that. Anyways, the game goes on. Kansas loses by 7. I already have the number for BetMGM loaded up on my phone. I know that they're going to flip it
up, ready to go.
Ready to go. So if Kansas covers by 9, I don't have to worry about it if they flip it to minus 8.5, which is what the number is supposed to be. So I didn't bother. Game ends. They win by 7. Loaded up, ready to go. So I call BetMGM. Somehow someone answers it like that, like a real person. And
what time of night is this?
No, this is at like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's midday.
Yeah, it was on Saturday, I think. So anyways, I get someone at the Mirage. I don't know how that was possible. And I'm like, yeah, I bet plus 8.5, and now it says minus 8.5. I have a screenshot of it, and the guy goes, here's my email. Email it to me. I email it to him. He goes, oh yeah, we'll pay this out. So here you go. Look in your account in 30 minutes. They pay out the entire thing, and they shoot me a free bonus code promo just for because they messed up. I thought it was the best interaction I've ever had with a bookmaker or a bookie in my life. So free plug for BetMGM. Way to go, guys. Thank you for paying me out, and appreciate the customer service.
Yeah, last time I was in Vegas with you, I had a parlay that they misprinted at like plus 600 when it was actually supposed to be plus 135. And I hit the parlay. They only gave it to me for plus 135 though. I'm like, yo, but I got this sheet right here that says plus 600. They wouldn't honor it. So at least you got something out of it. But I was pretty pissed. I was like, damn, man. I knew it was too good to be true, but I figured they were like, oh, well, it's an error. So yeah, we can't honor that. Sorry. It's like, damn, I guess I need to take my ass to BetMGM.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they were great. As long as you take a screenshot of their error and email it to them. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't take the screenshot.
Oh, you would have
yeah, exactly. So the lesson is if you see a bad line and you know it, take a picture. At least you have proof. All right. Before we get into Wednesday NBA and Sweet 16 bets, there is a 7-6 live on the Champions Round app right now for the Sweet 16. Go play that now. It locks Thursday at 3:59 p.m. right before tip-off of the Gonzaga game. That goes through Friday. It's a fun little contest. We'll have more of these going on, and we're also going to be debuting some new content and products in the coming weeks. We have Big Board Showdown, which is our NFL draft product, Snake Draft, That'll be coming out in about a week and a half. And then we're debuting some other games. We're talking behind the scenes, maybe some real money gaming here at Champions Round. Dan, I know that you know a little bit about it, but we'll talk about it more. There could be some live shows coming, some morning live shows that'll be awesome. So lots of fun things at Champions Round coming down the pipeline, including bets for Wednesday, which is why we're here. All right, so NBA, I always defer to you. You know what the hell you're talking about. I will end up moonlighting as an NBA gambler come May when the NFL draft is over. And basically, until then, I will be looking for Dan's bets and trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to bet. I have done a little bit of work on player props, but in terms of teams, I have no idea what the hell's going on. So that's where I got you. You're going to tell me exactly what I'm supposed to be betting for the Wednesday NBA slate. So we have 11 games tomorrow. First one up on the board I see is Hawks Pistons. Pistons currently plus 5.5 at home. Total sitting at 224.5. What's going on with these two teams? And is there any money to be made on this game?
Yeah, this is an interesting game because the Detroit Pistons have actually been, most people would probably think they'd be tanking at this stage, but they've actually been one of the more profitable teams post All-Star break. They actually were favored for the first time in 37 games or something like that in their last matchup. They wound up losing that game, got trounced actually. But I think that this is back into their position of where they're valuable, and that's being an underdog here. So their lanes, I think they're plus 6.5 point dogs right now to the Atlanta Hawks, who are coming off of Trae Young just dropped 45 points, career high in Madison Square Garden at time of recording this. So the Hawks are going to be on a back-to-back set. They're going to be traveling again from New York to Detroit. So I think that there actually could be some value here on the way that the Detroit Pistons have been playing, taking their points here. Let me see. It's at 5. I actually might lean towards the first quarter on this one, only because, maybe you could take advantage of the Atlanta Hawks having some tired legs. I mean, it didn't look like Trae Young was exerting that much energy, but 45 points still takes some kind of effort, right? So even though the Knicks are trash, I think that there still might be an opportunity to play the Detroit Pistons here. But I don't know if I'm going to make that a best bet yet, but I'm certainly looking at that. I want to get on that now before that line moves any more for perhaps any injury news, because last game Jeremy Grant missed the game. I'm expecting him to play this one, so he'll certainly be a factor if Detroit is going to be competitive in this game.
Detroit open plus 6 in this game, plus 5.5 at BetMGM right now. And also, according to the Action Network, 99% of the money is on the Pistons in this game already, albeit it's only 592 bets that have been tracked, but probably a good indication of where this money is going to go, given that Atlanta played tonight and that Detroit is expecting Grant back. So if you like that plus 5.5, maybe a good time to do it. Any interest in the plus 180 on the money line here?
I know, really, because the Atlanta Hawks right now are in they just got to 500, and I don't think that they're going to want to look back right now. Currently looking into the standings, Hawks are 10th place. So they're in the play-in spot right now, but they could be anywhere between probably between 8 and 10 is probably where they're going to end up in terms of losses right now. They're right there. The Nets have 34, the Hornets have 35, and they have 36. So they're going to be in the play-in tournament, but I think that they're going to probably want to play in that 9-10 slot. I don't think anyone wants to play the Toronto Raptors or the the Brooklyn Nets in the play-in tournament. So
got it.
That's just something interesting kind of factor here, because now you essentially have 10 spots for the playoffs. So a little bit more to play for.
All right, next game on the board. Speaking of the Charlotte Hornets, they're 6.5 point favorites at home versus the Knicks. Totals 226.5. What do we got on this game?
Yeah, so the Charlotte Hornets have actually played really well since signing Isaiah Thomas. I don't know if there's any correlation there, but I think they've been 8-2 since he's signed with their team. And they're, as I said, similar situation with the Atlanta Hawks. They really don't want to lose out of that play-in opportunity. So I think that those continue to put the foot on the gas here. The Knicks are absolutely awful. They're coming off of a back-to-back set. They got to travel to Charlotte from the Garden. I think this is another good spot where you can grab the Charlotte Hornets. Another one that I'd probably play first quarter or first half, just to capitalize on some tired legs. But Julius Randle did not play tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. So there's a chance that he suits up here, which would certainly be helpful for the New York Knicks. But I think the Charlotte Hornets are playing too well for you to doubt them. So this is another one that it's not going to be a best bet, but I'm certainly going to have some action in on.
All right.
We interrupt this program to have Jason's frozen screen. Give it about 2 minutes and he will return. Oh, we got two of them.
I'm back.
We're back. We're back.
I don't know what happened there. Okay, so Sacramento Kings at the Indiana Pacers. Kings are plus 5.5, totals 235.5.
Yeah, this one's probably going to be a stay away for me. The Kings are without Domantas Sabonis for the next 5 games. It looks like he bruised his knee, and it looks like not any significant damage, but he's not going to be playing. That's a huge downgrade for the Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox also did not play last game. This could be a signaling of the tank mode for the Kings. They don't really have much to play for right now. So at this point, I'm going to fade it because I don't really know what I'm going to get out of the Pacers, another team that's not in playoff contention right now. So yeah, I'm probably not going to lay the points here. I'll just stay away from this and probably play some player props.
Can we do the player props on Halliburton in a revenge game against the Kings? Because that sounds fun to me.
Absolutely. And this is going to be contingent on whether Malcolm Brogdon plays. If Brogdon's out, I love Halliburton points and assists. If Brogdon is in the lineup, I like his assists a lot. So there's definitely plenty of angles that you could play for Tyrese Halliburton. And I'd also argue Buddy Hield was mistreated pretty well in Sacramento as well. So I could see a little revenge narrative in him as well.
Revenge props are the best props. I can't wait. I love it. All right, next game on the board. Utah plus 5.5 at the Celtics. Totals 220.5. Celtics are on a fucking tear. They might be the best team in the East at this point, or at least the hottest team for sure. 5.5 at home against the Jazz seems a little bit steep, but do you really want to get in front of the Celtics train right now?
I don't. Their defense is spectacular. And, if there's a couple people that could check Rudy Gobert in the paint there as a rim protector, it's going to be Al Horford and Robert Williams. Robert Williams missed last game with rest. I think he's going to go for this one. This is potentially, I don't think anyone thinks that Utah is actually going to win the championship or get to the finals here, especially with all the turmoil they have going on behind closed doors with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert and whatnot. But Mike Conley's been missing the last couple of games, so they're going to be a little bit shorthanded. I like the Boston Celtics here. 5.5 seems like a good number. Similarly, I think that they could also get out to a good start. Their offense has sputtered a little bit in the half court, but I think Jason Tatum's locked in. This squad is just really good, and I think they are the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. So with all the momentum signaling Boston, I'll lay the points with 5.5 with them.
Is it worth putting in futures bets or looking at them on the Celtics right now? Do you think that they have a chance to make the finals?
I would say for Eastern Conference Finals, 100%. For finals, sure, because I think that the East is wide open right now. You figure, depending on the draw that Brooklyn gets, whether they go in there as the 8th seed or whatever, upset maybe the top team, which could be the Heat. They could have a nice little path to the championship here. I mean, going through the Sixers, going through the Raptors, potentially, maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is a team that I think is falling the wrong direction. I think this is wide open. And for their defense and the superstars that they have on their team, they have some playoff pedigree. I certainly think that they can make a run for it.
Nice. All right. Nets minus 2.5 at the Memphis Grizzlies. This game is wildly intriguing. Under 235.5. Kyrie going to be a go for this game. Game's in Memphis. They don't care about your vaccine status there. So good to go. Lean, I guess that I like the Nets here a little bit as a short road favorite. Memphis, are they still kind of grinding it out, or are they falling off past the All-Star break?
No, they're still grinding it out. I mean, they're in the 2 seed right now in the Western Conference. I think that they're in a better position than the Warriors right now with Steph Curry on the mend. I mean, we just saw the Warriors lose to the Orlando Magic. That's a new low. So, I think the Memphis Grizzlies are good. The only problem is with this game, I think John Moran's going to be sitting. So the fact that he's out, give me the Nets right here at 2.5 points. I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to move a little bit, especially with Kyrie in the building. Yeah, we know that the Nets play a lot better on the road than they do at home. So most of their wins have been on the road this year. So yeah, I think that they're going to get up for this game. Kevin Durant is playing outside of his mind right now. He's just dropping buckets on whoever, calling everybody tiny. Wouldn't be surprised if he went for another 30 piece tomorrow night. So yeah, give me the Nets here, and I'd also take some Kevin Durant overs.
That seems like this line seems a little fishy to me then. So Ja might be out. The Nets are going to have Kyrie. Kevin Durant's cooking. And they're only 2.5 point favorites. Am I missing something here?
The Memphis defense is really good. They're top 5 in defense. As I said, they're the second team in the Western Conference. They've certainly been great, but you're right. It is a little fishy that this line hasn't moved more with news so significant as that.
Looking on Action Network right now, 93% of the money on 1,000 bets is coming in on the net. So the line opened plus 3.5. It's already to -2. So moved 5.5 points already. We should go and bet on the Nets right after this because this line is going to end up being like 5 tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next game on the board: Warriors plus 6.5 at the Miami Heat. Totals 214.5. Warriors seemingly not in a good place. Miami, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Still interesting. I mean, the Warriors, they always got Steph. They can always keep this close, but seems like Miami might have the upper hand here.
Yeah, with Steph out, I don't have much confidence in this Warriors offense. Like, they're solely reliant now on Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson. Jordan Poole's been doing great, dropped 20 plus in like 5 straight. Klay's still trying to find his rhythm, and Draymond Green's still working his way back into playing shape. But going up against the Miami Heat, I'm curious about the injury report on this one. I think this is a great opportunity for, maybe Kyle Lowry or Jimmy Butler and or both to get some rest. They've already clinched the playoff berth. They're the only team in the Eastern Conference to do that yet. So this one I'm going to stay away for now until I get more information of who's actually going to be playing in the game. If assuming that all of the Miami Heat are healthy and playing, 6.5 points against this Warriors team, I'm confident in that. I would lay the points with them.
All right, maybe the best game of the night somehow. The Phoenix Suns -1.5 at the Minnesota Timberwolves, as they call themselves now. T-Wolves are really hot. Suns are the best team in the West. Tight line, 1.5, total 234.5. That total seems a little bit high to me on first glance.
Well, the Timberwolves defense has been great post All-Star break. They've turned into a top 5 defense. And it seemed really, credit to Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns just really anchoring that defense. But I'm going to go with, I think that the Phoenix Suns are the 1.5 point favorites, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Timberwolves here, but I might wait to place this because I don't know that this is going to move to the Timberwolves' favor. I think a lot of people are still drinking a lot of Kool-Aid on Devin Booker and how good this Phoenix Suns team is. But I think that the Timberwolves are the dark horse to come out of the Western Conference. I think that they're going to win at least one series. Depends on the draw in the second round. But I think that this team has really turned the corner. They're a legit two-way team, offense, defense. They get their role players involved. And the Phoenix Suns haven't really played that well against top teams with a better 500 record without Chris Paul. Chris Paul is supposed to be returned to the lineup sometime soon, which is good news for them. Once he gets back, I think the Phoenix is going to be probably the hardest team to beat, being that they have such a substantial lead in terms of the standings and just the way that they played all season consistently. But I like the Minnesota Timberwolves here, man. They've just been rolling. I think that they put together. They have enough people on the wing to kind of keep Devin Booker somewhat at bay. And then you're going to see Karl Anthony Towns and DeAndre Ayton go at it. And I'm going to give the edge to the Cat there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's interesting to note that Suns open +1.5. Now it's -1.5. On 706 bets, 99% of the money is coming in on the Suns. So if you like the Timberwolves, like you said, wait, you're going to see a bigger number than the currently at +1.5 at BetMGM. All right, 4 more games on the board. This one we can go through quickly. Orlando, Oklahoma City. Orlando,
hard pass.
Orlando's 2.5 point favorites on the road against OKC, total 219.5. I feel like just on principle, I have to bet OKC +2.5 as home dogs because both these teams stink and we'll just take home field or home court advantage here as a dog.
Yeah, if I'm going to bet it after what Orlando just did to the Warriors, even though they're on the second leg of a back-to-back, I wouldn't be surprised if Orlando won this game. Or OKC is without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, it looks like, and they're playing with just a bunch of backup players. So Trey Mann, I believe, went off for like 30 points. You're like, who is that? I said the same thing too. If I didn't play fantasy basketball, I'd have no idea who practically anyone on or OKC is who's on OKC. So yeah, this one's a stay away for me. Pretty boring game. I probably bet the under just because I don't trust either of these two teams to drop a lot of buckets.
I will say, after watching Chet Holmgren play for Gonzaga, I really want to see him on OKC. I think him and Giddey and SGA would be a really, really fun team.
Dude, I think Chet's going to be I think he's going to be just fine in the league, man. Like, everyone was hating on Kevin Durant when he was super slim coming into the league. And I don't know that he's going to get that similar build. Like, I think Chet is what he is, but like, he's still a strong player, great defensively. He's got handles. He can pull up. He has all the tools to be a good basketball player. So, put a little weight on him, add 20 pounds. Anyone could do that for how young he is. Like, he'll be straight. But I think he would be really exciting with someone like SGA to get like a stretch 4, stretch 5 big like that.
Yeah, like SGA, Giddey, and Holmgren seems like that's a fun nucleus to build around. And I agree. Chet's like a try-hard guy. He's moving without the ball, tries really hard on defense. He gets physical even though he weighs 170 pounds.
Yeah.
That's as a 19-year-old, that's what you want to see. I don't care if you're a 5-star. If you try hard on both sides of the court and you're moving without the ball, trying to help your teammates, says a lot about you as a prospect. So I'm pretty in on Chet.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in the conversation for top pick. I think that they're going to wind up, whoever the number 1 pick goes to, I think they're going to end up with a Banchero or somebody like that's a little bit more NBA size ready. But if Chet falls, man, that could be a lot of value for whoever scoops him.
The other guy that I love, and it's based on like 2 plays I saw in the tournament.
Jason Ivey?
Dude, Ivy is sick. He's so sick. He gave me like heavy Ja Morant vibes.
Dude, I was on him, and Keegan Murray was really quiet in the opening match. I really wanted to, I had Iowa going really far. As we all did. Fucking stupid. Who bets on Iowa? What was I thinking? We can circle back once we get to college basketball on that. But either way, that dude is a really good basketball player too. But yeah, what we've seen from Jason Ivey, man, he looks legit. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's raised his stock a little bit in this tournament here.
Yeah, I was reading a couple of mock drafts over the weekend, and it seems like he's like a number 1 pick, number 2 pick. But he jumps off the screen like absolutely crazy. So he's one of those guys you're just watching the game, be like, oh, who's that guy? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, 3 more games on the board. Rockets plus 9.5 at Dallas. 226.5 is the total here. I have no idea what the hell is going on with either of these teams. I saw Lucas getting mad at Pat Bev and then just draining 35 footers in his face. But other than that, I don't really know what's going on with either of these teams.
Yeah, Mavs are in a good spot right now. They're sitting in the 5 seed, but they're only 1 game back out of the Utah Jazz. So if the Jazz lose here, they get into the 4. I think that there's these 2 teams. They're probably going to be. They're probably going to meet in the first round as a 4-5 matchup here. So I think Dallas actually has a really good shot. Ever since Kristaps Porzingis got traded, it's unlocked Luka Doncic. He's been on a scoring tear lately. He's actually in contention for the scoring title with LeBron, which is kind of crazy considering how slow he started. But it's Luka. He always comes back in the earlier part of the season, like out of shape. He's a young dude. Like he's just living his life. So now that he's back in the game shape and he's gotten his groove, I think they're going to be good. On the other side, you got Houston, who's pretty much playing for a draft pick right now. Christian Wood's been playing really well. I would probably look into player prop for him, probably his points or potentially his rebounds, because the front court for Dallas isn't that strong. It's like Dwight Powell. So yeah, I think he'll probably have a good game. And Christian Wood's also coming off a huge 30-point performance where he dropped like 8 threes. So he's definitely grooving right now. So that's probably the angle I would look at. Plus 9. I don't know that I want to get behind that, especially considering how good the Mavericks have been Are they at home? Let me see. They're at home, right?
They're at home, yeah.
Yeah. They're really good at home. So yeah, I'd probably stay away on the Houston side there. I don't know if I want to lay the points with them.
All right. This is a game between our two squads. 76ers at the Lakers. Lakers plus 7.5, coming off of a win where LeBron tried to end Kevin Love's life.
I think he did.
Yeah, tried to, and maybe he did. Saw a nice little tackle on the sidelines from K-Love after the game, though. So he's still
Too old to be doing that, man. Get him in headlocks. LeBron's definitely going to have to do a little bit of massage therapy after that one.
For sure. Total's 228.5. Lakers stink. They're so bad. But they got to win on the road. LeBron's scoring 80 points a game. He's going to try and pass Kareem this year.
He's gunning.
I don't know. What's going with the Sixers? Is Harden and Embiid healthy right now?
Healthy-ish. I don't know. Joel, he sat last game, but Doc Rivers already indicated that they're going to be resting starters down the stretch here. I don't think anyone really wants that. Between the Heat, the Bucks, and the Sixers, I don't think any of them want that number one seed for the mere fact that they could face the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. So I don't want to be surprised if they coasted here. I think Harden's good. He's just taking his little rest or whatever. I think the Sixers are going to be at full strength. They got a nice win with Tyrese Maxey pretty much willing them over the Miami Heat on Monday. Today's Sunday. Monday? No, that was on Monday. Damn, I'm losing my days. Anyway, I would not bet on the Lakers if anything was like, just don't bet on the Lakers. If you're going to bet on the Lakers, bet on LeBron James points over because he is going for that scoring title. It would only be his second one in his career. He's 37 years old in year 17. That's ridiculous. And you know that LeBron is a narrative guy and always loves how people call him the Wash King, even though he makes up his own nicknames and makes up his own things just to hype himself up. But he's going to go for 30. So, yeah, I like LeBron James to go over whatever his point total is. Avoid the Lakers like the plague. Don't bet on them. It's a losing bet.
All right. Well said. Last game on the board. This is kind of a throwaway one, too. Spurs minus 7.5 against the Blazers in Portland. Total 233.5. Should we just pass on this game? Any thoughts on
this is another yuck bet, man. I'd probably look for DeJounte Murray player props in that one. I don't want to touch. I have no idea how to handicap Portland because they have so much attrition in their starting lineup and who's playing and who's not. Josh Hart missed the last game, but Justice Winslow comes back and goes off. I have no way how to predict what's going to happen there. And on the Spurs side, at this point, it's a race to the San Antonio Spurs getting over their win total. They're at 28.5, I believe, on the season, or they were at 28.5 in the preseason. They're sitting at right now 28. So congrats to Greg Popovich and anyone that was bold enough to take the Spurs over because they're half game away from that.
Unbelievable. All right. So that does it for NBA Wednesday. Look out for Dan's stuff, all of his bets. Go to Action Network. Go track all of his bets. I see him coming through all the time.
Yeah, hit me up on the Action Network app, man. Follow my bets. Get some winners in the NBA. Not much for college basketball, but I got you for NBA.
Don't worry. We're going to give him some college basketball bets now.
We're getting there.
All right. So let's switch over. Sweet 16 bets. We'll run through this pretty quickly. I did a podcast this morning with Ed Fang at the Power Rink. We went through all the games. Yeah.
Very dope. If you haven't watched that yet, make sure you do it. I didn't know who Ed Fang was until I watched that. And I was like, oh, shit. This is dope.
He's really smart. Data scientist, PhD from Stanford, literally wrote the book on how to win your bracket pool March Madness. Right. I wish I would have had him on 2 weeks ago. Maybe we would have made some money on that. But it was fun to talk to him and see what angles he was targeting for these 8 games. So Thursday, first game of the board, Arkansas plus 9.5 versus Gonzaga. Totals 155.5. The angle here has to be Gonzaga. Arkansas stinks. Gonzaga has all these great players. They've been tested twice against Georgia State. Then they went on a 20-0 run and blew them out. And then against Memphis was not a 9 seed. That team is really talented with a lot of NBA future stars there. And Gonzaga did what they did. They were down 10 at halftime, and they come back. They win, hit a lot of big threes. I think they're going to shoot the lights out against Arkansas in this game. So give me Gonzaga. I betted it -9. Opened 8.5. 9.5's getting up there, but I'd probably take anything south of 10 here.
Yeah, I'd feel okay about taking Gonzaga. I mean, I think what we saw from them in the first weekend was really resiliency. They'll start slow, then they kind of get into their flow of the game, and then they start pounding you in the interior. And you don't have an answer for even Timmy and Holmgren. I mean, I think this team is just really deep and solid. So I don't see any reason why they're not going to get to the Elite Eight here. And I don't know anybody on Arkansas really. So yeah, I'm gonna trust you and roll with Gonzaga on this one.
Yeah, I just don't really like Musselman as a coach in the tournament. They play a little tight. They've had a nice little coasting to this point, but Gonzaga's a whole different beast. So I'll take Gonzaga. Second game on the board, Michigan versus Villanova. Really interesting game. This Michigan team has had a nice path. The win versus Tennessee was great. Colorado State was a joke. The Mountain West stinks as a conference. So you should always just
what were we
fade them.
doing there, man? Colorado State. We talked about this numerous times, but hey, I think it made sense. If they showed up, it would have been work. But I think Michigan's just been playing really well right now.
Yeah, look, Juwan Howard, really good tournament coach. We've seen that over the past 2 years. They've got some guys, but Villanova is a whole different matchup, and the tempo in this game is going to be very interesting. It should be really slow. It should be really half-court heavy. Villanova should win in that scenario. I think Jay Wright's a better coach than Juwan Howard. Not to say Howard's bad, but Jay Wright's Jay Wright. There's a reason. -4.5. Line started at 5.5. A little sharp money on Michigan here. I think it's going to be tight, but yeah, give me Nova to pull it out at the end. It doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to have a bet on this game, though. I think Michigan's a little overvalued in the market right now.
Yeah, I don't. In terms of points, that's interesting. And not many people have really been talking about, like, even the brackets that I'm in a few of them, and I didn't really see many people picking Villanova. But you're right. I mean, I think Jay Wright is the superior coach here. Year in, year out, this guy always gets the Villanova Wildcats deep into this, make a tournament run here. And just reading up on Villanova, they run pick and roll at a rate top 15, and Michigan not really good at defending the pick and roll, and they run it in the 97th percentile in terms of ranking, so and efficiency. So I think this might be where the tournament ends for Michigan here. I think that they might just be outmatched, but the points, I lean Villanova, but I don't know that I'm going to lay money down on it yet.
All right, next game on the board, Texas Tech -1.5 versus Duke, total 137.5. This is where the big boys come swinging. All the sharps have come in really early on Texas Tech. This line opened -0.5 for Duke. Let's move 2 points. Not super shocking based on the fact that people think that Duke is just a bunch of freshmen running around and don't exactly have a plan. They're all 19 years old. Texas Tech is a really old, experienced team. They're all 22 years old. Their defense is elite. Here's the deal. I talked to Ed Fang this morning. He thinks that Duke should be favored. I think that Duke should be favored. Their upside is way higher than Texas Tech's. So it's just a matter of, can they put it together in a one-game scenario? I don't think that the Coach K retirement tour ends in this game in the Sweet 16. I think they get it done. I like that +1.5. And I will bet the money line as well.
I'm going to take the under in this game for how good Texas Tech's defense is, and for much of that, erratic offense that we potentially could be getting from the freshmen of Duke. They could be on or they could be missing a little bit. But if it's a tight game, I think it's going to come down to defense and making shots. So I'm going to lean the under here.
All right, I like it. I actually really like that. I might end up betting that at some point. Next game on the board, Houston against Arizona. Houston's +1.5, totals 145.5. Ed really liked Houston. He thinks that Houston's going to win outright. I'm interested to see what happens in this game. I think that this is a stay away from me. It is a really interesting stylistic matchup. Houston wants to play slow, half court. Arizona wants to go full bore Gonzaga style up and down the court. It leads Arizona to have a high turnover rate, which is concerning given how good Houston's defense is. However, if Arizona is able to move the ball effectively down the court and spread them out and get their quick passing game going, find the open guy, Arizona can put up a lot of points really quickly. It's a really shallow line. I do not really trust this Arizona team. I don't think they were ranked as the second best team in the tournament. I don't believe that. I am going to lean towards Houston here on the +1.5, but I don't feel good about it. But I think that this will be a wildly entertaining game.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona definitely escaped one last week. So I don't know, maybe luck's on their side here. Houston plays really slow, whereas Arizona plays very high up tempo. In those situations, like, can you slow the game down enough that it matters? I feel like Houston will impose their will at some point. So maybe I might take the under on this one as well. But Being that this game is essentially getting as close to a pick 'em, it's like 1.5 now. I don't really have a lean either way. I just want to see a good game. So I'm gonna go with Houston here. I'll ride with the doctor here. But I do like the under.
All right. I like the under too. I think 140. What I say, 145.5.
Yeah.
That seems like a high number for a Houston game. All right. St. Peter's. So these games are on Friday. St. Peter's plus 12.5 against Purdue. Look, I love the story with St. Peter's. I love Doug. I love the fact that they got guys from New York and New Jersey who are not scared of anything.
This isn't new news though, but I get it.
They have the Midwestern Yao Ming in Zach Ivy or Edie, and then they had Ivy, who's like the next John Morant. Okay. St. Peter says it's going to be hilarious to watch these guys on the court. Like the size difference is going to be it's going to be something to watch. I can't wait to see St. Peter's head coach next to Zach Edey. It's going to be really funny to watch. 12.5. Sure. I'll buy in on Purdue. I think St. Peter's is going to get blown out in this game, but I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, 15 seeds. I mean, I don't know if this is Florida Gulf Coast status yet. I don't think they have the athleticism of that team. Like that team was just like sickening. Whereas this is like just guys that are scrappy, not afraid to back down. But I think they're going to get outmatched here. I think this is where the tournament ends. 12.5 points is kind of intriguing for how well that they've been playing. But yeah, I don't know that I can bet them to win this game outright by any means. But I might sprinkle something on it. I just like that. I think they're just playing really well right now. So 12.5. I like double digit points. I'm intrigued.
All right. Next game on the board, Providence, the luckiest team in the country, continues their roll. I'm sorry. I love Ed Cooley. But I'm going to keep betting against them. Kansas, the most frustrating 1 seed in the world.
Always.
They're really good. They're a really good team. They take the worst 2-point jump shots of all time. Just don't do the mid-range game. You could have scored every time at the basket against Creighton. You guys are just soft. You want to take these 2-point jumpers because they're open. Whatever. There's a reason that they're open, buddy. That being said, of course I'm all over Kansas in this game. I cannot bet Providence. I cannot do it. I'm not allowed to do it. I won't do it. You can't make me do it. I'm on Kansas.
Yeah, 7.5 points. That's a lot. I feel like
don't do it, Dan.
I don't know. It's probably stay away from me. I'm gonna call it a stay away because I can't trust Kansas, man. No matter how much I bet them or pick them to go far, they always disappoint me at some point. And but you're right. Providence is the definition of luck this year. So I don't know. Does their luck run out? We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna stay away from it.
All right. My favorite game of the Sweet 16: North Carolina, UCLA. North Carolina plus 2.5. Total 141.5. This UNC team up 25. Their best player scored 12 points in 3 minutes, gets ejected for throwing an elbow. Just an electric game. I can't believe that they covered and won in overtime. I thought they were dead in the water.
Unbelievable game.
Meanwhile, UCLA, no one in the history of the world can win a rock fight versus Mick Cronin. If you're going to give them a half-court game, they will win the game. UNC has to go full up-tempo, try to score 100 points in this game. That is your path to victory. Even if it means, 50% of the time you lose by 20 because you just have 30 turnovers in the game. That's fine. If you try to play half court and slow against UCLA, you will lose. I trust Hubert Davis to do that. I'm on UNC. I think that they're going to run the doors off of UCLA with better athletes. And so give me North Carolina plus 2.5 and plus 120 on the money line.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take UCLA, man. I believe in this squad. They made their run last year. They didn't play well in the first half, and then you saw what happens when the game slows down for them. They make jump shots, a lot of mid-range, but I think we saw Juzang kind of get hot in the second half there. He was kind of quiet, but I think that this team has a lot of depth, and we've seen UNC be super inconsistent. Like, yeah, they're on their run right now, but they could just as easy revert back to the ACC folding UNC team that didn't really do much towards the end of the season here. So I'm going to roll with UCLA here, but 2.5 points. Yeah, I'm still comfortable. I'm still roll with UCLA.
All right. Different size of my favorite game. That'll be a fun conversation come Friday. Last game on the board, the game that no one gives a shit about. I don't know why they put it on Friday night. This should be the first game Thursday. Just get it out of the way so we can watch some good basketball. Iowa State plus 2.5 against Miami, total 133.5. Doesn't matter. Neither of these teams, good. They got 2 nice wins. You're going to play Kansas in the next round. You're going to get your shit pushed in. Get out of the tournament. I don't want to deal with either of these games. I probably won't bet this until Friday night when I've had a lot of drinks in Scottsdale, and then I bet my entire account on it. If I had to bet on it, I'd bet Iowa State just because I'm getting points here. I think they're evenly matched. I like their defense more than Miami's. I think Miami's overrated. They've just gotten some good matchups. Their offense is pretty good, but they've gotten a little lucky with the 3-ball here. So give me Iowa State plus 2.5. Although, I don't feel good about that at all.
11-10, the definition of March Madness. I have no dog in this fight. I'll probably take Miami just because I got to rep my ACC, but that's all I got. Iowa State, I picked them in my bracket. Shockingly, they made it this far. It's like the only thing that I got right, but
nice.
I think this is where it stops. So who the fuck knows? As you said, this is Mr. Irrelevant game. So yeah, I don't care who wins. Either way, you're going to be out next round anyway.
That is a great way to describe it, is the Mr. Irrelevant game. So maybe it does make sense that they put it last. So we can just no one has to pay attention after UCLA, North Carolina.
Let's go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. East Coast. I mean, it starts at 10 p.m. on the East Coast. Great. Yeah. You don't have to pay attention. All right. That does it for all of our Wednesday NBA bets and all of our Sweet 16 bets. We'll be back next week. At some point, we should talk about all the insanity that's happening in the NFL. Deshaun Watson's on a new team. Devontae Adams is on a new team.
Man,
we got a lot going on. Marcus Mariota is now starting quarterback, which means that this is now an Atlanta Falcons podcast. So get used to that. Anyways, it'll be fun. We should talk at some point next week. We'll schedule that recap show. But yeah, until then, good luck with all your bets tomorrow on the NBA and Sweet 16 this weekend. And go cash those checks, baby. See ya.